Hello there and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bridget Morris and I talk about things that are specific carbohydrate diet related. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I also have an Instagram account that you can go and check out. I talk about things that are specific carbohydrate diet related and also show pictures of things that I eat. Now, let's hop right into it. In today's video, I'm going to show you a recipe on how to make a pizza crust. Now, cauliflower has always been a popular ingredient, but we're going to put that to the side today and we're going to make way and put the spotlight on beets. Yes, you heard me right, beets. Maybe not the number one ingredient that you think of putting in a pizza crust, but let me tell you, it's so good. And it actually adds a certain sweetness to it. And let's talk about the color. Yes, it's going to be like that purple, well, more of like a pink color, but you'll see. So if you want to learn how to make an SCD friendly pizza crust using beets, please keep watching. And if you want to watch to the end of the video, I'm going to show you what I put on my pizza because, well, I was hungry, so I said might as well finish it, put some cheese and stuff on it, and then we'll eat it. So yeah, let's get right into it. So in this recipe, you're going to need 250 grams of cooked beets, so I'll be cooking these later, 2 eggs, half a cup of almond flour, a quarter cup of coconut flour, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, and some salt for taste. So first things first, you're going to have to cook the beets. So if your beets are already cooked, you can just skip this step right away. I'm going to be making a lot of beets, so I can do a lot of pizza crusts. I'm going to boil them to get them soft, and the smaller the pieces, the quicker they'll cook, and so that's why you're seeing me cutting them in half. Boiling time is going to depend on the size of the beets, and the way that I like to check is I take a fork and I poke through it, and if it goes in and out smoothly, then I know that they're ready. So I went ahead and changed the water to cold water, and I like to add ice cubes to make the water even colder because that's going to help to detach the skin of the beets. So you'll basically be peeling them off. You're just going to add a bit of pressure and the skin is going to come right off. All right, you can see here that they are cooled off. I can hold them in my hands and you can see how smooth and easy it is to just remove the skin. As a warning, I will tell you that the beets will slightly stain your hands, so if you want to wear a pair of gloves, then by all means go ahead. I actually don't really mind. It doesn't really stay on for that long. Also, they are very slippery, so just be careful. From here, I like to cut my pieces into smaller pieces because I like to use this for meals, but I will be mainly using these for pizza crusts. Now to portion out the beets. It is important to have 250 grams of beets. You don't want to be adding too much because the consistency of the dough will generally be more on the runny side. So if you're adding too much, it'll just be too liquidy. So this is how much I'll be using for the dough today. From here, I'm going to add the wet ingredients in my mixer, which is the beets and the eggs. It's just so much quicker and simpler. Here's what it looks like, and look how beautiful the color is. So you see how it's very runny. This is good. Now let's finish off the dough by adding the dry ingredients to our mixture. I like to use my mixer just because it's so much quicker and easier. So here's the almond flour, the coconut flour, we're going to add the Italian seasoning, and then some salt. So we just mixed the dough, and here's what it looks like. We can see how it's still on the soft side, but this is good. This is what we want. And also, how amazing is the color? So I'm going to put all the dough on this parchment paper, and I'm going to flatten it out. So here's the trick. You can see how it's still very soft just by using my hands. Don't put too much pressure. I'm very softly using this roll-in pin to make it flatter, but I'm not adding too much pressure because if not, you're going to be squishing it way too much. Ideally, you want the dough to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, and you don't want the edges to be too thin because they will be burning. Here's the dough ready to go in the oven that I preheated at 400 Fahrenheit. So this is just a pizza pan. I'm going to put it at the bottom and we're going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you're just going to remove the pizza pan at the bottom and leave it in there for another 10 minutes. While I'm waiting for the dough to finish off, I'm going to get my toppings ready to go. So of today's pizza, I'm going to be putting some mushrooms and bell pepper. And now for the cheese, I'm going to grate some cheddar cheese. And I'm not going to tell you how much cheese to put on your pizza. Don't let anyone tell you how much cheese to put on. You measure that with your heart. Now we need to take the pizza dough out of the oven so you can take the pizza pan, slide it under. Just be careful, it's going to be really hot. We're going to let this cool off for a little bit. Look at the color and how vibrant it is. This next step you don't really need to do, but I wanted to show you the underside of the crust. At this point, you're done. You can actually freeze it and use it on another day, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my pizza because I'm actually really hungry. From here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the burnt edges, and then I'm gonna add the Rao's marinara sauce as my pizza sauce. It's really good and it's also SCD legal. And then from here, just add all the toppings that you pre-cut. And as the last step, in the oven it goes again for another 10-15 minutes. You don't want it to be there too long because the edges will burn, but you do want the cheese to be melted and you want the vegetables to be slightly cooked. And there you go. Look how amazing this looks. It's so good and delicious. Bon appétit! And there you go, guys. That is how you make an SCD-friendly pizza crust using beets. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. Leave in the comments below what are your thoughts, or if you've used other ingredients that are not cauliflower and beets, or kinds of toppings that you put on. If you like this video, consider sharing it with anybody that you feel would benefit from it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.